afternoon and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. We got WrestleMania 39, night one of WrestleMania 39, that is. So, good start to WrestleMania. I was very excited for what we had going in today. I was overall pretty, this is pretty much what I expected. Didn't find myself too disappointed at times. And the highs were relatively good. Nothing, I guess, through the roof. Incredible that I wasn't expecting, but good nonetheless. And yeah, so I know we don't do a ton of wrestling videos on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure, and also thank you to everyone who checked out the stream. That went really well. Make sure you guys, if you guys didn't check out the stream, make sure to stop by even just for a second or two. Say hi. Tomorrow, drop yourselves a like on it. It would really help out a ton. And yeah, so let's get right into this. The pre-show, there's nothing that really happens in the pre-shows anymore. They're really just more talking, promos, whatnot, which isn't too bad because with the pre-shows with the matches on it, especially a pay-per-view as long as WrestleMania, they just really, if you really watch those matches in the pre-show, it makes you feel more dragged out by the end of it. So I'm okay that they don't have any matches in it. But we start off decently strong with Cena versus Theory. It was nice to see Cena doing his entrance with the Make-A-Wish kids. For those who are not aware, John Cena has done more of the Make-A-Wish meets and fundraisers and whatnot for them than any other celebrity, period. So it was just kind of a very nice gesture to see from John Cena, and very much something that didn't surprise me of something John Cena would do, give those kids a memory that they will never forget. And so overall, this was a good match, and this ended exactly the way I expected. Austin Theory would retain the U.S. title. It's just, John Cena is not a full-time wrestler, so it just doesn't make sense at this point in time. And not only is he not full-time, it's not even like he's part-time in the same sense of Lesnar, where he'll show up every once in a while. With Cena, because of his movie schedule and everything he has going on, there's just way too much uncertainty to put a title on him. And they wanted to build Austin Theory, so it made sense to have it go this way. Now, I know there's a decent amount of complaining about the finish of this match. I guess fair enough. Although, I can't say I'm too surprised. Yeah, overall, I'm just happy that Theory would retain and continue. And I think eventually, his first challenger that he's going to have to deal with is hopefully a debuting Braun Breaker. For those not aware, whoever did not watch NXT Stand and Deliver, I did today. Braun Breaker lost his NXT title to Carmelo Hayes and then presented it in a very passing of the torch manner, which means that Braun Breaker is heading to the main roster. I expect to see him debut the Raw after Mania, which we are also streaming. We don't normally stream Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, but it is the Raw after WrestleMania. And in my opinion, the Raw after WrestleMania is very much a continuing of the biggest wrestling party there is, that is WrestleMania. So overall, I expect that he'll actually challenge Austin Theory for the U.S. title, and they'll go from there. And I think that'll be a great feud. But yeah, that was the first match, pretty solid. And then the next one we had was the four-way men's tag team showcase, which was Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, the Street Profits, and the Viking Raiders. Now, I didn't have very many expectations for this match because it was very much, let's get everyone on the card, guys. So I took it as I did. Now, I had predicted that the Street Profits would win this match, as it was very obvious that whoever won this match would probably have a tag championship opportunity down the line. And it's very clear that the WWE either wants to unify the tag titles permanently and make it just the WWE Tag Team Championships, or split them almost immediately. And if they're going to split them, the Street Profits are the way they do it. So I feel like they are going to be splitting them instead of just getting rid of them. So overall, it was, my apologies, I'm really tired. It's been a long day. I was really impressed by this match. There's a lot more spots than I was expecting. If there's one thing this match really showed, for those who are not aware, man, the Viking Raiders, for their size, they are athletic. I saw them pulling off some springboards, some moonsaults. I was impressed with the Viking Raiders. And so it's very clear that the Viking Raiders are a team that with a little bit of tweaking, you can absolutely have at the top of your tag team division. When it comes to the athleticism and their in-ring capabilities, they're absolutely there. It's just they don't have a good enough voice piece for them, and they don't necessarily have the TV time to showcase that if they did. You know, I'd like to see those two guys on the mic. I don't even know their names. That's a bit of an issue. They should kind of maybe push them a little bit more. We can learn more about these guys, you know. I think Valhalla needs to have some better and longer promos. I think the potential is there. Yeah, overall, very impressed. A lot of people were surprised that Chad Gable could suplex Braun Strowman. I'm not. This is Chad Gable. Chad Gable, in my opinion, is one of the best wrestlers in the world today. You're talking about a 2012 Olympian, and he really needs a singles push. You're going to take Otis out for the Maxim male models, have him do his old comedy shtick. Works great, no problems. Chad Gable, I want to see as the next King of the Ring. I think that's what you do with him. It would be a great choice, but we'll see how it goes. But anyways, our next match on the card was going to be Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Now, this one was interesting because this is actually a prediction I got wrong. I thought that Logan Paul was going to win simply because they just kind of were building it a little bit as such. And so, like, oh, God, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm yawning all this much. My apologies. But this was a match with a really interesting build. Obviously, this started all the way back at the Royal Rumble. And it was a good match overall. There's a lot of good spots. There was this bottle of Prime that followed Logan Paul to the ring, which honestly wasn't surprising. I have now since tried Prime. I've tried a few of the flavors. They just started selling them at 7-Eleven here in Winnipeg, so pick it up if you want. They're like $4 a bottle, which for Prime is like cheap because of how hard it is to get. But compared to like Gatorade or Powerade, that's like not a good price. So they're kind of expensive. But I just bought them simply because I just wanted to try them. Gotta say they're actually pretty good. I expected it to be like really watered down because it's only 20 calories, but actually like really strong flavor. It was good shit. So Prime, we approve of Prime at the Nolan Hockey Podcast. Anyways, sorry, I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, so there's this bottle of Prime, which we would eventually find out is KSI. I had wondered about that. I wasn't 100% sure. Once he started getting involved in the match, I started thinking that. And it would be a fun spot where KSI would eat a frog splash on the announce table to Logan Paul. And I saw a thing of KSI talking to Michaela Baxter backstage about possibly wanting to fight Bobby Lashley, which I was like, oh, you're serious? Oh, shit. So let's see where that goes. I'm not so sure about that. But this would be a match that Seth Rollins would win. Paul put up a good showing. Jake Paul hit the GTS. Interesting. You know, I wonder how much of that was just because he wanted to pull it off and how much of that was almost... There have been a lot of CM Punk drama recently, and there were... If we're counting this one, there was 2 references to AEW tonight in a sense. So it was interesting to see that. But overall, it was a solid match, great match, honestly. Logan Paul puts on some good matches. Now, let's be real here, though. The reason he doesn't wrestle very often is because the matches he does wrestle, he rehearses the fuck out of. Now, that doesn't take anything away from his athletic capabilities. But the thing is that if we saw Logan Paul wrestling every single night, or if he was wrestling every week on Raw, he wouldn't be wrestling like this. He just doesn't have the wrestling IQ when it comes to being able to make up shit on the fly to be able to do that. That's not taking anything away from him as a talent, but I'm saying some people are saying that he's like as good as Rollins, and it's like, no, he's not. No. Just because he's had a few good matches does not put him on that caliber. So again, he has done great, but let's not put him on a pedestal here. So yeah, Rollins would win, and interesting to see where that goes moving forward. I'm not sure what the status of Logan Paul's contract with the WWE is. I thought it was expiring at this year's Mania, so that's one reason why I was a little skeptical, but I was wrong. Rollins wins. Next match, we got Damage Control versus Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. Everything in this match happened exactly the way I expected would. it was a decent match. Not a whole ton of stuff to talk about. Everyone hit their finishers, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Lita, Lynch, and Stratus would win. However, I was expecting a Stratus heel turn. We did not see it. However, I think we still will. I think we might see the Raw after WrestleMania. I don't think they wanted to crab too much in there. I gotta stop yawning. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this pretty much went exactly the way I expected it. I don't know what kind of psychedelic thing wherein that Bayley was wearing to the ring. Oh my goodness, that was hard to look at. I thought I was like, it was like so many lines and colors, and it was, you know, I thought I was smoking whatever Joe Rogan was smoking seeing that, but it was. Anyways, I think overall it was a good match. Top performer of the match, definitely Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai puts on a great showing here. Really showed how she would do really well in a singles run, and I think eventually they should get to the point where they should consider pushing her as such. So I would be curious to see if they give that a try at some point. What the hell? It's like 1 a.m. I'm sorry. But next match, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Now this one is the other prediction I got wrong. I thought Rey was going to put his son over at Mania. He both did and didn't. So Dominic Mysterio would make the first entrance into this match, and they have fully leaned into the fact that Dominic Mysterio, with the 24 hours or whatever that he spent in prison, was serving hard time, which is honestly laughable. But Dominic Mysterio is doing a great job at this heel work. So he comes to the ring in handcuffs, wearing a Mysterio mask. And it's funny because it's one of those things where you don't really think about, like, I guess he looks a little like Rey. And then he puts the mask on and you're like, fuck, he does look like Rey. Like, and I know that sounds funny because it's like, well, of course he's wearing Rey's mask. But it's like, no. I've seen a lot of people wear that Rey Mysterio mask. The eyes, the face, he's a Mysterio, 100%. So he came to the ring in shackles, which was just hilarious. Love it. I expected that he would actually come to the ring to Eddie Guerrero's music as like a heel trope, kind of the way that Seth Rollins brought back the Shield music and whatnot when he went against Roman, kind of in that sense. However, he didn't, and that's okay, but that's because Rey Mysterio did it. He came out with a nice-ass car with Snoop Dogg to the ring, and then we got some of the race music. It's funny, he got up to the stage, and it almost looked like he was going in the ramp, and I thought, oh my god, is he going to pop up like the old SmackDown? He didn't. It's a little unfortunate. A little bit of a missed opportunity there, but it is what it is. Overall, it kind of hit different here in Eddie's theme. For the first time in a while. It was a good tribute to the late, great Eddie Guerrero. This was a good match, and this is where we would see possibly the other AEW reference, where Dominic Mysterio gets a glass of probably water, I don't think it was tequila, and threw it right in his sister's face. Now, unfortunately, Instagram just was simping all over Dom's sister. Come on, guys. Grow the fuck up. But, yeah, no, I the second I saw that, I'm like, that's a shot at MJF, you know, obviously grabbing the glass of tequila and fucking throw it in the kid's face at Revolution, which, by the way, is hilarious. It is funny. That kid got, like, tickets to the next show. He got, like, backstage pass. Kid was fine, all right? You know, but, you know, MJF, you really shouldn't be doing that. But I'm glad to see that AEW did well with that kid. Anyways, this match. Overall, pretty damn good match. Got to see the 619 hit from both of them. I really thought Dom was going to win this. Saw a little bit of Judgment Day interference. However, it would eventually be stopped by Bad Bunny, who is with the Spanish announce team. Great choice. And then Rey would get him score himself the win. So Rey defeats Dom. And our next match of the night was Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. This match, so Zach is defending this belt right now with his picks, with his group. And so you have to put a certain amount of points on each match. The most amount of points we put on a match was the Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte match. We put all of the points that we could on this match with Rhea Ripley winning. Rhea Ripley won, and it was absolutely the right winner. No question the fact that, Rhea Ripley should have won at WrestleMania 36, and that didn't happen. The fact that this match even existed was very much to rectify that mistake. And it was great. It was a good performance. Overall, it was kind of a little bit lackluster for the first bit. Started to kind of pick it up near the end. And so overall, was just kind of glad to see that Rhea Ripley won. She very much deserved it. Crowd was absolutely behind Rhea Ripley, despite the fact that she's still a heel. And she still was a heel in the post WrestleMania press conference where, she was like, well, obviously Ray, Hall of Fame, whatnot. But, Dom calls him a deadbeat father. I'm not going to sit through Ray's Hall of Fame ceremony and have Dom sit through that. Which, by the way, if you looked at that, Dom was struggling leaving that Hall of Fame ceremony. Because you can tell he genuinely cared about his dad and whatnot. But they did it for the story. And, the dedication to kayfabe is much appreciated. But anyways, this match overall was relatively solid. I was really worried that Charlotte almost broke her neck on that suplex. Holy crap, she looked like she landed almost on her head. Really was close there. Really probably shouldn't have over-rotated there, but is what it is. Overall, was just really glad to see Rhea Ripley win and get herself a good chunk of the pyro budget before Cody blows it out of the water tomorrow. So, is what it is. And then, so, we would then go on to the main event. Actually, Pat McAfee would arrive and he would fight The Miz. Why? I mean, I'm not like complaining, but like, I don't have any issue with Pat McAfee showing up. Honestly, I just love seeing Michael Cole like jump up and down like a small child excited when he sees his boy Pat McAfee return. But like, I'm kind of starting to get a little bit sick of seeing The Miz buried like this. Like, we're talking about a guy who's used as a transition champion. And like he mentioned earlier, he's a 2-time Grand Slam champion. And he's one of the most consistent wrestlers that WWE has and has been for like 15 years. I kind of hope we start treating The Miz with a bit more respect. Like, I kind of want to see him at least have one more really solid world title reign. Like, definitely deserves it, but it's a little bit nitpicking. But he had his WrestleMania moment with Pat McAfee. Was a decent match for a match that seemingly was thrown together in 2 seconds. I love the fact of where Miz was asking Snoop to not do too much, and then Snoop's like, "Oh, don't worry, man. You're a wrestler. You wrestle. I'm just a rapper," and he walks out of the ring. Love that. But overall, Pat McAfee would win this match. Is what it is. But then we are on to the main event of the evening, which was the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, defending their undisputed tag team championships against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Love the feeling that Sami Zayn was getting. Everyone has embraced WrestleZania and was loving to see all the love that he got. Was kind of worried that was starting to fade a little bit simply because of the fact that he didn't win the Universal title. Wasn't sure what exactly he would get. I think WWE made the right decision on making this a main event. I thought that they were going to make Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley the main event, which again would have been a solid choice as well. But I think the fans going into the show made it very clear that they wanted to see KO and Sami Zayn in the main event. This actually marks the first ever time that the WWE Tag Team Championships were in the main event of WrestleMania. So it was cool to see that. And I think this is pretty much the only way they ever would have been, the fact that WrestleMania is a 2-night show. But overall, was glad to see it. It was a great match. Lots of good spots. We had a bit too many super kicks. It kind of felt like I was watching the Elite, not going to lie. And the Usos have been using it more and more and more. And so, like, I guess the thing is that, like, people complain that the Elite do it, but it's like, for me, it's like, that's their thing. Their whole thing is super kick party, that sort of shtick. But the Usos, they're not known for that. They've always had super kicks as part of their arsenal. but not to the way that they've been using them recently. So I kind of wish it was one of those things where it's like, stick to what's yours and whatnot, and I guess be more original. And, it's a minor nitpick. There's a certain expectation I have, and so that was just it's starting to get a little stale. Overall, and this was a great showcase of Kevin Owens' athleticism. Holy crap, the guy, he is a big man, but he can move, he can fly, he can do it all, and he put on a great showcase. Seeing the crowd get that hyped up about Sami Zayn and those 3 haluva kicks to finish the match against Jay, not Jimmy, Jey Uso. And for Sami Zayn to get the pin in the main event of WrestleMania and to get that ovation was just absolutely lovely. So overall, was a very good night of WrestleMania for WrestleMania Night 1. Obviously, we have a even bigger night tomorrow where we got Gunther or Walter and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat Intercontinental Championship match. I think that will be the best match of all of WrestleMania this year. I'm sorry. That match is just, there's so much potential. And then obviously you're going to get Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, which is going to steal the show. And the fact that the Usos lost their titles today makes it almost impossible that Roman retains tomorrow. So, is what it is. I'll be excited for that. Make sure you guys tune into the stream tomorrow and then check out the video afterwards. And the same with the Raw after Mania. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time, and peace out.
You take me to him. Take me to the son of a bitch. Take me to him. Come on. Go, 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 go.